Hi everybody, this is Julian from Aquarium City. Today we're going to give a quick chemistry lesson for a reef tank. If you can check a different video for basic chemistry, ammonia, nitrate, we're sort of assuming you understand that at this point. This is going to be the bone building chemistry, the stuff that we use to grow our corals. So here we have a little cheat sheet which we'll put up at the end of the video, and basically on this sheet we're going to test three main things: KH, calcium, and pH, which are things that we're going to add to feed the corals. And then we're also going to talk about checking your salinity. So when you do the more fancy chemistry for your corals, you definitely want to check your salinity, because if that's wrong, it's going to throw all the other things off. So I have three examples here which I'll show you really quickly. This right here is a floating hydrometer. Okay, so this bobs up and down and shows you the level of your salt. And you would put this in a vase with some of your water. It would sort of float up and down and give you a reading. This guy is a little bit more fancy. This has a sort of weighted arm, and the density will show you the density of the salt water. This is another hydrometer. And then here we have a really pretty Vertec, and this is called a refractometer. We look through it, and there'll be a little band that'll show you the salinity perfectly. These are really great for a coral tank because they give you an exact reading on your salinity, so you don't have to kind of guess. And when you're dosing things, it's really good to be precise, so that helps a lot. So on a fish tank, we're fine with the hydrometers. On a reef tank, we really suggest using this type of thing. Okay, so the basic idea is that you want to provide the bone building things for the corals. They're absorbing these things out of the water at a pretty good clip, and if you don't add them, eventually the corals are going to get osteoporosis and die. So what do? Is we're going to test three things, and we usually recommend you do this at least once a week. So you're going to test your pH, your KH, and your calcium. If you get a pH between 8.3 and 8.5, you're doing a great job. You don't have to do anything. If you get a pH that's lower than 8.3, then we want to raise that pH. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a product called Reef Builder. Okay? This product is basically a product using something called soda ash, and what it does is it's going to raise the pH of the tank a little bit at a time. Every dose that you put in of this is going to raise the pH about 0.2. Okay? So if you get a pH of 7.9 and we want to go up to 8.3, you're going to put in 2 doses. There are all type of dosing calculators on the internet you can look up to get the exact amount, but basically the idea is you're going to adjust that every week. Okay. Then we have something called KH. This is German degrees of carbonate hardness. That needs to, on a beginner tank, that needs to stay between maybe 10 to 12. Okay. So if you're under 10, we want to add some of this stuff, and this is basically baking soda, right? You're going to add some of this stuff to the water, and that's going to make the KH go up. Okay. And then finally, we have something called calcium. So calcium and KH, or calcium and carbonate, are going to bond together to make the bones of the corals. So these are really important to have correct. The calcium we usually aim to is about 420 to 440. Okay? So if you become under 420 on your calcium, you want to raise it. And you basically want to test the calcium, and then if it's below 420, we're gonna add some. And again, there are dosing calculators online you can look up, or anything like that. The easiest test kits that we've found are these test kits made by API, and they basically coordinate with the three guys that we're talking about right now. Right? So if you check your chemistry with these guys, you can then use those C-Chem products that I showed you, and they will show you how to adjust the stuff. If you keep these correct, your basic corals will do really well, and that's kind of a simplified setup for basic chemistry.